Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I've come on to do a little ephemera today. I'm starting a new journal, and so need to make some ephemera for it. And my main focus today is going to be Medieval Mirage, and it's Medieval Missives Add On Part 4. And this is just a portion of it. So unlike other design teams that I'm on where I show the entire kit, I probably won't do that with Joff's designs because her kits are super extensive. And so what I usually do is just print out what I'm going to use. I mean, I always have some extra sheets like, you know, you saw in my folder the other day, but I try not to print out the entire kit at one time just because obviously ink and paper and all of that stuff, as we know, is rather expensive. So I just kind of do what I know I will most likely use. So that is Medieval Missives Add On Part 4, and then I'm going to be using this die cut from inloveartshop.com, and that's one of the ones that they sent me in my last shipment, but I didn't really use it. The last time I showed you what it looks like punched out, so it looks, you know, like this. So anyway, those are the two things that I want to make sure that I focus on today because I'm on Joff's design team, and this will be a design team project, even though this journal is going to have a lot of other digis and even my digi in it. I've talked to Joff, and you know, she's okay with me using other kits and things like that, but the main focus is on her kit for this. So what I have done is we're going to use a piece of junk mail, and this is just, oops, I forgot my address was on there. I do this every time, so I'm going to just tear a piece of paper and put it over that. Again, or cut a piece since I can't tear right. Yeah, so the Medieval Missives kit is a really large kit, which most of her kits are, and so there's lots of different parts, and the whole thing isn't like black and white like that. So I call it black and white. It's more of like a sepia tone, but anyway. So I'm just really just focusing on that portion of it because I'm doing a winter journal, and I think to me it kind of has a winter look about it, you know. And it's, I know it's flowers and stuff, but it's the coloring that makes me think of that. So anyway, this is sort of part of my new journal that I'm working on, and this is my digi, and this is Manu Designs, and I just did some short pages, and I don't know if I'll keep those or do something else, but anyway, I was just kind of folding some paper, you know, figuring it out. But we are going to use some of Manu's designs, but I'm not on their design team or anything. I just the snowy images just went well with this, and so I'm going to use it for some background paper and things like that. So let me find what all I'm using here, but mainly the Medieval Missives. I just want to use some parts. I think actually I'm going to start on the front and just kind of use some of these icy type things, and I think I'll use this too. So we're going to be collaging. That's why my old board is still here. Plus it's just a good one for tearing and that, because on the glass, this ruler slides around more. So on this rubber mat it doesn't do it as bad. Just need to figure out how much I need on here. And I'm just going to do my normal thing of tearing and sticking and all that. So if you have a project that you're working on, this would be a good time to go ahead and get that out. I hope you're all having an awesome day. It's morning here, so I'm still kind of just fiddling around like I do. And just trying to get some work done. So I really like the iciest portion of this, but I think I'm also going to use something else on here, so I think I'm just going to tear it here because I'm mostly trying to get that for now. Anyway, want a piece of this. And I like this, the flowers and the writing right on this page. I'm going to get mostly this portion here, I think. Is that going to be... No, that's not going to be wide enough. So yeah, this is just one of those, you know, things, that the flat ones they send you, and I just cut it down. And it doesn't really matter what size, you know, you cut it down to. It's whatever's going to work for you. And I was cutting it to fit this die, so that's kind of how I came up with the size of it. I'll measure real quick so you can get an idea. It's just over 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. Is it 4 1/4? Oh no, it's square. 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 roughly. It's not perfect because, like I said, I was just kind of eyeballing it. I wasn't trying to get any specific size. I kind of want this top portion, I think. So this is what I like about Medieval Mirage, is that even though this is a winter journal, I think it works really well to put pieces of this and parts of it and everything. I mean, you can obviously do a whole awesome journal using her kits. I mean, it would be gorgeous just using hers, but I like to mix different stuff together. So, because to me that's kind of what a junk journal is about. It's not about everything matching, you know, perfectly or whatever. So that's just kind of my own idea of a junk journal. So I know I cut that a little short, so but that's okay because we can add other pieces. I'm not that worried because I don't want everything going up and down anyway. And then this, I think I'm going to do kind of a rougher edge here. And I know within most kits, it's not like everything's perfectly matching anyway, because like I said, the whole idea is to, you know, use different things. But I really like to mix kits when I'm doing a whole journal. Like I can do a whole piece of ephemera or something, but with one kit, but I like to mix them up when I'm doing a whole journal. So, but if you like everything to go together, then you could definitely make a beautiful kit or a beautiful journal using just her kits. Well, especially because there is a lot of variety within one kit. So I just like to really mix it up. And I like juxtaposition. Like a lot of my stuff in my Winter Wonder kit is kind of you know, there's some funny parts or whatever, and then obviously this is much more of a serious kind of a kit of paper. So, I don't know. I just like that juxtaposition in things. This paper's crooked, so getting it on here straight is a task. Because I don't ever measure, I just tear. Like right there. So yeah, I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. We had a very nice one. Tried to figure out, my husband got me that drawing tablet. And I think we're going to send it back because it's way over my head. And he even was struggling a bit with it, so clearly have to be way more tech savvy than I am, that's for sure, to make that happen. But that's just kind of the way life goes. Okay, so this is my Digi Winter Wonder, and I kind of just want to take something, you know, a piece off of this. I like the blue stamps here. I like the writing, I like the music. I need to tear a little bit off the top though, because I don't like the straightness of this particular line. If you go too skinny, it doesn't like tearing it like that. Almost got it, but of course that one little section had to not cooperate. Okay, so I think I'm going to kind of just go under that number, but I don't need, just need it to like there. I like this old script down here, but I want to see more of that icicle or that snowflake formation kind of thing there. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to make it a little more jagged here at the top. And that back line is straight. Okay. So this type of ephemera obviously isn't, you know, difficult. Just find yourself a flat piece of, you can just use paper too, you just any piece of paper and fold it in half to make, you know, a card formation basically. But if you have some junk mail that's just that flat kind of thing, works well. Okay. And then I might want, don't know what, I think I might use one of, I have some images from Mrs. Coggs that I might use. Although I do like this bird. This is from my Digi, so maybe I'll use this bird. Winter Wonder. I like this big stamp. I'm going to use my Deckley scissors to cut this out. It's like a stamp on a kind of a cream background, so this will work fine. And I kind of have this very similar thing right here that I could use, but it's a little bit big. I put the birds over it, but we're going to do this a little bit different. I really just want the birds. I don't need the words and all that at the bottom. This is cardstock, so it's a little harder to tear than the parchment paper, which is what I printed this on. It's just parchment paper that I got at Walmart. It wasn't a fancy one. I did order some other of that sawtooth, the nicer parchment paper from Amazon, and I just got it this weekend, but I had already printed these things out, so that's why they're not on that. I kind of just want I don't want to cover everything up. Let me see, I might tear it is what I'm thinking. I kind of like it like that. Sorry, that was like a really long, slow brain function there. Probably like, wow. Sometimes it takes me a minute. Yep. Definitely takes me a minute. All right. Then I have this fabric. I just realized that was sitting there, that my niece gave me for Christmas. It's just like a piece of the stuff on the bottom. What's it called? I don't know. Anyway, it's that, the bottom of the fabric. So there's a lot of juxtaposition there, obviously, right? Yeah. So something like that is what I'm thinking. I think I need something here, and I know I don't have to, but I feel like I need it. This is just says postcard. And I don't even care that it's not totally clear there. Okay, it just needed something up there. It didn't have to be a lot, it just needed something. I don't do well with big blank spaces, I guess. Just cleaning that off. My fingers too. Okay. So let me put this back in this. Alright. First. And I'm just going to put glue on the fabric. It'll be fine. I'm going to put it like these. I've got a glue mess here. I've got a big glob. So yeah, I'm sure for a lot of people those tablets are real easy, but unfortunately I am not one of those people. If my husband's struggling with it, then I know I'll never figure it out because he's way more tech savvy than I am. And you have to know a whole lot more, like Photoshop or, you know, one of those kind of things than I know. So, yeah. And it's probably something that I would do and, you know, everybody's not home, which everybody isn't very often because obviously school and work and all those things. So I can't be not knowing how to use it myself. Okay, now we'll go to the inside. I think I want more of that Medieval Mirage. Most of their credit. See, this is the problem I have with just a whole stack of papers here. tis. So I think I want to use more of this side over here now. I don't know why I think of winter when I look at this. I think it's just the coloration of the flowers and that. I mean, I don't just think of winter, but to me it works. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. You could be like, you're crazy and I don't understand, but... This one actually I think I'm going to do a jaggedy edge on. Or, you know, not a perfectly straight. It's not necessarily jagged. And I think I'm just going to kind of use this Manu sort of icy paper with it. I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much cover this part. I'll do another strip of something too, but I don't have to worry about that line because it's going to get covered. I don't have to do anything real fancy with this because most of it's going to get covered, and I'll show you in a minute why. Sorry, I'm pretty quiet today. I don't really have any stories. It's, you know, when I don't go to work, I don't have crazy kid stories or any of that. I get pretty quiet. Didn't have a whole lot going on, which was kind of nice. You know, it's so crazy before Christmas, and we have, you know, parties and just, you know, it's just crazy. So it's kind of nice once it calms down a little bit. I mean, we're going to a New Year's Eve get together on New Year's Eve, but it won't be anything real extensive. So I think I'm just going to use another piece of my paper here. Like this blue over here. Let me get the edge first. There's a little bench or a little bridge or something right there. That's kind of cool. I think I need to tear that straighter because of the edge of the card thing. straight, but it's going to get covered, so what do I care? Everybody was telling me with that last crazy piece of junk mail that I covered with Medieval Mirage that now everybody's going to be bugging the College of Idaho for information so they can get one of those. I think if you opened up a big envelope, you know, one of those really big square ones, you could probably do something very similar with it, and I did say that to a few people. I mean, you know, you can contact the College of Idaho, I don't really care, but I'm just saying, I don't think you have to go to that extreme. I think you can probably make it happen with, you know, a large envelope or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to put this here, but what I'm going to do is cut a line in it so that we can make a pocket out of it. And put a few tags in there. So yes, I end up covering a whole lot of what I just did, but it's got all these little cuts, and it's nice to have something neat in the background. And I could have just used one piece of paper, but I really just love collaging. I find it very relaxing. So you might think I'm crazy, but it's just something that I really enjoy doing. And I like the effect, so. Trying to get all those edges. And I did glue it to a piece of that manila paper because what am I trying to say? I printed it on parchment paper, so it wasn't very thick. So I'm going to turn it on its side and kind of get sort of lined up with some lines here. Actually, I want this on the bottom. So there's kind of a natural line running across right here. So I'm thinking if I can get that straight at all, I might be able to do it like that. So I'm probably about a ½ an inch, maybe a teeny bit more down from the top. And I'm just going to go from about here. About there, I think. Looks about even. Of course, you know, I'm not a machine, so it's probably not, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna cut or punch just a little hole on either end just to make it a little more obvious that there's a pocket there. And you don't have to do this, you can just cut the line, but I kind of like that look. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but there's my little pocket in there. I'm going to go ahead and ink it so we can see it a little bit better. Alright, I'm going to glue it right on here, but obviously what we're going to glue is the filigree on the outside and maybe, you know, a little bit of that. So I'm using art glitter glue to do this because this might take a minute. Some of these things you don't think through very well, right? It's like, oh yeah, let's just do that. I figure as long as most of these are glued down, then it'll be alright. Of course, with my shaky hands, who knows, but it's a problem with doing videos in the morning. It's the best time for me to do them, but I have that one half calf, you know, my real wow coffee, and I get shaky hands. Get all those out. I thought they were all out until you go to glue, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's still some little spots. So I am going to kind of go around this just because I want it to stay down just a little bit. And I am going to come up here at the top because we don't need that opening at all. Okay, I think that'll be fine, as long as we mostly get this. Alright, let's see how that goes. And I think I'm going to come down a little bit. I'm not going to perfectly center it. Just thought this might be a fun use of die cuts, because I always forget to use mine. So any new ideas kind of inspire me to get them out and use them. And then if you see like this little twirly here is lifting a little, just kind of pop a little glue under it. It's not really that big of a deal. I think it's fine. That one's kind of sticking up a lot. I don't know if I got any glue on there. Did I go too much? Okay, it's fine. Alright, and so I cut the snow flake one out as well, the other frame, and I thought this won't fit on this, but in the journal it would be kind of cool, like on a page, or I don't know, I'll figure out something, but I thought those came out cool like that, because you could even turn that one into a pocket too. So then I just cut these little tags out. These are Medieval Mirage, if I could talk, and that's the Missives, Volume 4. There's some colored pieces also in that kit, so it's not, the whole kit's not the black and white or sepia kind of tone. But I just like that. So those will go in there. And then I have another little thing we're going to do here as soon as we get it covered up. I'll use another piece of this, but I think I'm going to put it right along there this time. It'll fit just about perfect because I'll be collaging other stuff. I'm almost out of this glue. I opened another one because I had one downstairs and one upstairs, and I'm almost out. It's like you start to kind of hoard it, but I ordered it, so it's on its way. I have a few other glue sticks that I'm trying to use up, so I kind of use them intermittently here and there, but they just don't stick as well. I'm going to put a piece of Medieval Mirage on the corner, so I think I might use a little more like blue. Not a ton of blue left on there either. I like that dark. I don't think I have another piece of that printed out. Got this icy one. It's not really the same kind of blue. That's probably the best. That's still not the same, but think I want to use, I got these for Christmas. My husband spoiled me this year. I never know what he's gonna do. He's so good. But anyway, he got me these tickets. Put that in there before I forget. And now the pin won't go in. Oh no. There we go. They're Tim Holtz. I don't know what they call this. Ticket booths. And then there's this CMS337. I don't know. Okay, so I just want to use a little bit of this, like this big number. See, this is kind of part of this juxtaposition thing. Like, you don't necessarily think of it going with it, but I'm doing it anyway. And I don't care if it totally is dark or, you know, I didn't hardly push at all. I just want to have the idea of it being there. Oops, that was a little too light. Okay. And you could even write here because in a minute you'll see. Sorry, tickle all of a sudden. I am feeling much better though. Thank you guys. You're awesome. All your well wishes while I was not feeling particularly spectacular. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but... And this is from Medieval Missives. And the pocket's already like that. She does put the ink up there on the top. I just like to ink up the white edge, you know. Go around the edge of this part a little bit too. And I did back this because I printed it on parchment paper, so I backed it with the manila. And it's dry. So I'm just going to do these sides and it'll be a tuck. Well, actually it's kind of like a pocket because it has that little edge right there, right here, that you also glue down. I mean, you could leave it open, you don't have to. Shaky hands. And I'll probably stitch around this as well, so it'll be nice. Okay. Alright, so that needs to get wiped off. Right there. Ah, my hands just get gross. Sorry. Just what you want to sit and watch, right? Okay. Now that we got that. Oopsie. Doesn't want to fold now. Okay, we're going to wait a minute there. It's not all the way ready yet. We'll probably just flip it over and then I'll do it later. This is from my Digi Winter Wonder, and I backed it with some manila already. I didn't get around to inking, but at least I got that far, so you guys didn't have to sit and watch that. That's going to go in there. Just kind of fun. And then in Jeff's Medieval Missives, she'll even tell you, like, let me see if I can find a piece of it. It says various sizes for layering, so that was one of the pages, and it had all these little cards on it, and some are small and some are big, so you can layer them like that. So it's nice how she'll kind of give you ideas too, just in case you're like, what in the world am I going to do with that? And I backed these as well. I didn't really have to back the little one, but I kind of do the whole sheet before I cut them out, especially with these ones where she does the uneven edge because that way you don't have to cut it twice. So that's just a little tip. If you just back the, or at least most of the sheet, I'll cut it down so I'm not just backing huge amounts of paper, but it's not really going to matter because we're going to cover it. I'm going to not put it on there exactly straight either. And then I have one of Tim Holtz's little paper dolls, if I can get a hold of her. Ay, ay, ay. And this little label, and I'm going to stamp this with January, and it's all got ink on it. And it's not January, it's just Jan. And it doesn't have the year or anything, because you can set these where they're just the, you know, the month. Ink that up and see what it looks like. And I kind of feel like it needs a little piece of lace, something. I don't like ruffles very much, so I usually just cut this kind of lace. It makes it flat anyway, which is obviously better for a journal. Doily would also look good here. Okay, so go put the lace on first. Just kind of get it around her a little, just so she doesn't have that white edge there. Make this a little too, because it's kind of stark. For those, I'm going to use this. I need to quit leaving this open. And I did kind of put a lot on her, but she's gluing onto different layers of things, and so I want to make sure she doesn't just pop off. Okay, I'm going to take my bone tool here, see if we can get this to fold. And you know, you can add more to these pockets and whatever. This is just kind of what I came up with today. And I think I better let that one dry before I put it in. So let's do the back, and then we'll be set. You gotta give them a good push along to get them to stick. Look at that, I didn't even really look. What am I doing? Getting rummy dummy. And no excuse, like I'm not on cold medicine or anything. Just rummy dummy. So I will call this design team project for Medieval Mirage. I mean, I'm not just going to do this one. I'll do other ephemera as well. Make sure I'm giving credit, you know, where credit's due. But like I said many times, you can't go wrong with any of her kits. They're all beautiful. And try mixing them up with stuff, because you don't have to, like I said, do just that, her one, you know, kit. You can obviously just mix it up with other stuff and they look amazing. So and I know I've got, you know, parts where it's hanging off the edges and stuff, and I'll fix some of that, but some of it I like because it just adds some interest, I think. And I've got this piece I'm going to use on there. These stamps. Oh, I cut them off somehow. Oh, that's right, because my printer wasn't printing right. It was, I had it on portrait instead of landscape, so it messed up that, which is annoying. I got one stamp. I chopped that off too. Actually cut this because I don't think I'm going to be able to get a good tear like that. It's going to be interesting enough this way. I might not worry too much about the border. I did it! Yay! And tear a tiny bit off the top. And then we need to figure out how long. I really got that piece out of whack. Have to wait till it's dry though, because otherwise you can't cut it. It doesn't work. So yeah, she's got lots of different kinds of pieces. You know, you could put this on a tag, you could put it along the edge of a page. Just, you know, try to think of different ways to use some of it because it's very cool. You can just collage with it. Actually bring it down a little because I want to cut off more of that. And then I will let it dry before I trim. I need to put some ink on the spine. And I may end up putting like washi on the spine. I don't know. If the ink stays, I probably won't worry about it. I just don't want to see that glossy, you know, part of the ad kind of thing. Alright, so there's that. I love this flower stamp. What it would look like. So I'm going to cover up that icicle. Is that too much? That'd be kind of cool. Alright, there's that. I think that is good. So yeah, just something to play with. What do we got? We're at 50. I'm just going to show you something I made yesterday with Medieval Mirage. And this one I used Bohemian Bazaar, and it was volume 6 as well. Pretty sure. I get that part confused, but I'm pretty sure that's the one it was. It's the add-on, or one of the add-ons. But I took a piece of this long paper, and it measures 12 inches this way, and it measured 9 this way, but I cut it down to 8. So right now it's 12 by 8. And then I scored it at 4 inches, scored it at 8 inches, and then I scored it at 10.5 inches. So basically what it is, it folds. Goes this way actually, because that's like your front, the front of the book there. Didn't really want to fold there. I didn't score hard because this is that manila paper and it tears real easy, so I'm folding it this way, but it will actually end up folding the other way. So then this flap folds in, this piece folds back. Okay, so it's just open. There's this fold coming this way, this fold going back that way. And that's all it is. So it came out like this, and I used, like I said, her Boho Bohemian Bazaar volume 6, and it's got lots of the ladies and things like that, but it has just a few of these peacock images, and I didn't put anything down here because I wanted to see the peacock, and I printed it on the manila paper. This is another piece that I added up there. I just fussy cut around that, added a little piece of lace, piece of fabric, then it opens, and I added one of these envelopes that are also in her Boho Bohemian Bazaar. And this opens, and there's a tag in there. This image is not from hers. It's, I think I got that on Pinterest. And then this is from one of my digis. But I mean, you can use pieces that are in hers, so. And then this one is her Eclectic Essence digi. And then, so see, this is where that fold is. There's a fold going this way, so the pockets are here. I stitched right down the middle there, so there's 4 pockets instead of just like 2 big pockets. There's just a stitch line right there. So there's 2 spots to add. Oops, that one's upside down. I just backed them with coffee dyed paper. And those are from her digi, those images. So I covered it all first before I stitched it. That way, you know, I could get this purple paper in underneath there. There's the peacock there. And behind here is another piece from this piece of paper. There. And then on the back it's plain because I thought you could glue it down to a journal page. And then it flips open this way. There's this little envelope. And then the pockets going either direction. And then if you wanted, you could glue it down here, here, and here, and have another pocket there. So I think that's kind of fun. And then this one today. So yeah, so I hope you guys like those, just kind of some fun little things to make. Don't forget about checking out Medieval Mirage, beautiful stuff. So I hope you have an awesome day. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe, and we'll chat later. Bye-bye now.